Hi, it's Dwyer. DwyerCrime.blog. Also, always 1776.com. It is Monday, December 19th, 2022. Let's do part 2 of my talk on the 24 Faces of Billy Milligan. Part 1 is online. It was made yesterday, December 18th, 2022. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let's pick up where we left off yesterday. Billy Milligan is at a psychiatric facility, having been found not guilty by reason of insanity for 3 rapes, where he also robbed the victims at Ohio State University. Right? Supposedly, according to Billy's defense, Billy didn't know what he was doing because he was someone else at the time of the rapes. Right? He was 2 different people. An aggressive male persona called Ragin, who did the robberies, and he was a lesbian woman, Adelana, who actually perpetrated the sexual assaults. Right? Somehow this was bought by the court, believe it or not, and he was able to avoid jail time and ended up at a psychiatric facility. At that psychiatric facility, Billy decides to write a book with a well-known author, and his 10, at that time, personalities morphs into 24 personalities. They discover 14 additional personalities, right? Just in time to be included in the book that's being written. Well, someone in the comment section of the part 1 video mentioned demonic possession. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I believe here again, this information discredits Billy, because I believe Billy watched some movies before he came up with these alternative personalities, right? And understand, some of his alternative personalities had accents, right? Now, it's noteworthy, and people need to be aware of this, that Billy starts talking in these accents to the investigators who are investigating him. Right? Not to members of the media who catch up with him after trial. No, this is just to the medical professionals. We're supposed to believe that he suddenly is talking in a Russian accent and other accents. Well, what people need to know is that this is not demonic possession. We know that with certainty, because the accent used by Billy for one of his alter egos was in a language that Billy apparently understood he did not know. In other words, he could fake the accent, but he didn't know the language. He couldn't write the language out, right? He couldn't convert over into the language. He could just fake the English version of an accent for the language. So he went to somebody else, another patient at the psychiatric facility where he was, and he asked to be taught the language. Now, just understand, if this is a demonic possession, the spirit who takes over your body, this is The Exorcist or some show like that, the spirit who takes over your body would already know how to speak the language fluently. Not just how to fake an accent in English, but to actually speak the language. If it's an old soul, they might know how to write the language out. Not only did Billy not know the language, that he was faking an accent for, in my opinion. But Billy knew that he didn't know the language, which is important. Right? If a Spanish soul takes over my body, or if you believe in reincarnation and I have a Spanish person inside of me, someone who speaks Spanish, right? Then when I become that person, if you believe that multiple personality disorder exculpates you, right, makes you not legally responsible for your crime, when I become that Spanish person, I'd be speaking in Spanish, wouldn't I? Right? I might not know that a different part of me knows how to speak English. If I'm a spirit, a Spanish spirit that has only spoken Spanish, when that spirit inhabited the earth as themselves or as someone else, I would know all the grammatical changes. I wouldn't have to go out then and learn how to speak Spanish. Right? Billy understood that whatever accent he was throwing to fool English medical professionals, right? He would speak in English with an accent. Billy understood that he didn't know the actual underlying language. In other words, he could fake a Russian accent. He couldn't speak Russian. Billy was aware of this, English Billy, because English Billy then goes to another patient and says, can you teach me how to speak and how to write this language that I'm using to affect an accent? My words, not Billy's words, in front of medical professionals. So folks, don't get confused. I believe this is a con, not a demonic possession. I believe Billy, after getting arrested, understanding that he needed to come up with some legal defense, decides to fake accents, thinking about some movies he saw, maybe The Exorcist, maybe others, thinking, hey, I need to show these people that I'm someone else. Let me fake a foreign accent. He hadn't thought it through. Because if he's faking the foreign accent and he doesn't know the underlying language, then the whole thing is bogus. Well, folks, in my opinion, he knew the whole thing was bogus because he starts approaching at least one person who actually spoke the language that Billy was pretending to have an accent for in English. And he wanted to know how he could write that language. Right? He understood he needed more authenticity. Now, they briefly mention it on the 24 Faces of Billy Milligan on Netflix. It's not given enough attention because, in my opinion, this completely destroys the multiple personality disorder construct that Billy is pursuing. Well, understand, when he is released from the psychiatric facility, and understand, while he was at the psychiatric facility, he was actually dating people. Right? At least one of the people he dated worked at the facility. In other words, Billy, who we're supposed to believe couldn't control who he was able to woo people who saw him on a daily basis. Now understand, I don't believe that Billy, who had raped at least 4 women before he's at the psychiatric facility, had any real empathy for any of the people he was dating. Right? I believe this is your classic narcissistic psychopath who can frame, having empathy, comes across as charming. But understand, the emotion is 1 inch deep. Now that becomes apparent when he is initially released from the psychiatric facility. In my opinion, his psychopathy and lack of empathy emerges. Right? He has a girlfriend. Understands he threatens to kill her. Right now, you would imagine, if he's really done work on himself, if he understands that he has raped 4 women, robbed at least 3 of the 4, if he understands that he was incarcerated and he believes he's not responsible, he certainly didn't show it when he threatens to kill his girlfriend. There's no awareness. There's no, hey, I have a temper problem. Hey, I have a problem with women. Hey, this girlfriend is going out with me. She likes me. Right? She's in my inner circle. Maybe this isn't the person I should threaten to murder. There's nothing like that. He not only threatens to murder his girlfriend, he goes one step further. He tells her that he has already murdered a black man, and he names the town in Logan, Ohio. Now, upon investigation, it is learned that a black friend of Milligan's went missing in Ohio in the late 70s. And that at that time, Milligan came into a lot of unexplained money. Right? Milligan also had an unexplained motorcycle at that time that no one knows how he got. Right? Understand, the black guy murdered in Ohio, law enforcement found his car. They didn't find the guy. Right? They're pretty certain that this is the guy Billy's talking about murdering. So understand, telling his girlfriend to shake her up, or maybe to give her a warning that he's going to kill her, wasn't enough for Billy. Billy had to also tell her that he was capable of killing her because he had experience in killing. Well, understand, at some point in time, in part because of Billy's post-release behavior and situations like this, he's ordered to return to the psychiatric facility for further testing. He then goes on the lam with a film producer for whom he made a short film. Right? They are in the film producer's car as they drive across several states. And yet, even though we're supposed to believe that Billy blacks out at times, doesn't know who he is, switches to a new personality that might be murderous, that might rape women. Understand, Billy never attacks the film producer. The film producer is safe with Billy. Right? Just think about that. The film producer isn't robbed by Billy. Billy, the individual supposedly with multiple personality disorder who can't control his behavior, controls his behavior awfully well when he's on the lam. Well, understand, because Billy on the lam goes interstate, right? Leaves the state of Ohio, he's traveling, he's trying to flee. The FBI is called in. This is now a federal matter. Billy ends up in Washington State. Right? Understand, to get to Washington State, part of Billy's journey involved taking a plane. And yet, Billy, the multiple rapist, the man who told his girlfriend he murdered a black man in Ohio, apparently is able to take the plane using a fictitious identity seamlessly. Right? He's on the plane. He doesn't forget who he is. He doesn't attack other passengers. He doesn't attack the flight attendants. So Billy makes it to Washington State. And he ends up in a roommate situation with a gentleman, Christopher Madden. Now, as I see it, there's a pattern to Billy. Right? Billy's attacking women. Right? People who might not be as big as him physically. Would it shock you to learn that Christopher Madden, his roommate in Washington State, is on disability? Right? I believe there's a pattern here. Right? Billy is attacking people who are vulnerable. So, by the way, the black guy in Ohio who Billy attacked, 5'8", small, weighed around 150 pounds, smaller than Billy. Well, you know what happens next. Christopher Madden, who's receiving disability payments, goes missing. His body has never been found. What has been found are his blood-stained glasses, the frame and the lenses, which are separated from the frame, in Milligan's belongings when Milligan is later arrested. Milligan also cashed one of Madden's disability checks after Madden went missing. In other words, this isn't the roommate situation where suddenly your roommate's missing and you don't know what the deal is. No, this is the situation where you're in your roommate's finances to the point where you're cashing the roommate's disability checks. Also, let's be clear here. Your roommate goes missing. I believe most people would have an understanding, wow, the roommate is missing. This is absurd. So even if a disability check came in the mail, you would say, wow, I don't know what's going on with this situation. This check is not my check. I don't want to interfere with an ongoing investigation by cashing money that belongs to a roommate who has gone missing. Understand, that's not Billy. We're to believe first that Billy has nothing to do with his roommate's disappearance. Right? Who knows? Maybe Billy's legal argument is he doesn't even know how he came in possession of his roommate's bloody glasses. Right? But then it's worse than that. Billy takes affirmative steps to cash the roommate's disability check. Right? There's no idea that the roommate might be missing, might reappear, and might need that disability check. Well, understand, Milligan's brother, who helps him while he's on the lam, talks about how the weekend the roommate goes missing, he tried to call Milligan and could not reach him. Right? Milligan just happened by chance to be off radar the weekend that the roommate goes missing. Understand, Milligan's brother has reached the conclusion that Milligan might be responsible for his roommate's disappearance. Right? Just understand, Milligan, even with those closest to him, a family member, his brother, who he was raised with, who helped him while he was on the lam, who encouraged him to move to Washington. The brother lived in British Columbia across the border. Billy hasn't come clean with his brother about what happened. In other words, the construct Billy has of, hey, I'm multiple personality, I'm not responsible, people are getting raped around me, I'm on a campus I don't attend, and women are getting raped, right? I'm coming into money no one can explain. A black guy is murdered where I am. I have a motorbike nobody can explain, and I'm not responsible. Right? Understand, Billy has never come clean to his brother. Well, it gets worse. For a period of time, there was interest from Hollywood in Billy's story. After all, Billy doesn't go to jail for 3 rapes. Is the first person to successfully argue that he has dissociative identity disorder. He's found insane because of it, right? Multiple personality disorder. So just to understand, there's a time where Billy is in Los Angeles. Some big names are interested in the Billy story. James Cameron, right, from Avatar, from Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio at one point was supposed to be in position to play Billy in a movie. So Billy's in LA living the life. You even have a buddy of Billy's on the Netflix series who's talking about how they were out smoking a lot of weed and stuff like that, right, while Billy's in LA. Intellectual property disputes arise because Billy apparently has sold his life story to a few people. Right, so Hollywood understands this is a situation where we might make a movie. Several people might come out of the woodwork demanding money. Right, Hollywood backs away from the planned movie on Billy's life. Billy moves to Vegas. Now Billy becomes the cool uncle. Right, he has a niece. She loves Billy. Right, Billy is fun to be around. Billy's the uncle who likes to go out, who likes to party and stuff like that. Well, just to understand that there came a time where Milligan admitted to his niece is not his girlfriend, right? His girlfriend was somebody else who he admitted to killing a black man in Ohio, Logan, Ohio. Right here, he tells a second woman that he's done some bad things. He admits to killing people, plural. Now, he doesn't go into specifics with her, but let's just say there's the black man in Ohio, and of course, there's the roommate in Washington, whose bloody lenses are found in Billy's possession. Now, what's most important here is that Billy doesn't talk about alter egos. He's aware that he has done horrible things. And we know of 4 rapes he's convicted for, right? He, is able to avoid jail for 3 of them by claiming multiple personality disorder. He's held accountable by going to a psychiatric hospital. But understand, there are 4 women he has raped, at least 4 we know of. And Billy says he's murdered people. Right? There are 2 people a black guy in Ohio and his roommate in Washington, who Billy likely murdered. Folks, there might be more. And understand, Billy is talking about horrible things he did, not one of 23 other personalities. So let me just say, I believe Billy's aware of everything he did. I believe Billy came up with a strategy to avoid going to prison. I believe in this case, the multiple personality disorder defense is contrived. In sum, I believe Billy is a narcissistic psychopath who got one over on the doctors who examined him. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I understand multiple personality disorder is a hotly contested subject, right? I just believe that this particular defendant did not have it. I look forward to your comments in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.